All right, this is the first long form video I've put on YouTube in a long time. I don't know what's going to go on with TikTok or not. There seems to be some, well, allegedly allegedly the House bill passed, but either President Biden will veto it or all those representatives will walk back their support for it because of the backlash. Either way, it seems like a good idea to put some more effort into my YouTube channel, and I figured this is a good segue back into that. So you're all gonna watch me shave whether you like it or not. So this is a get ready with me video. They're popular on TikTok. I don't see why they can't be popular on YouTube. And don't worry, this is the only part of my body you're gonna watch me wipe stuff on and clean. So anyway, there. Using the Henry stuff, by the way, and no, I'm not getting sponsored by them. It would be nice. I've actually got a ways to go before I get sponsors on YouTube. But anyway, enough about the differences in platforms. So I think I'll make this a series, shaving with the Grim Retails or whatever, or just get ready with the Grim Retails. But I'll do a bit of a throwback post. Well, not really a throwback, something like, all right, well, I don't know if any of you have been watching, but there's a new channel on YouTube that it's a new predator stinging channel, and they just put their first video up. And it just so happens that that video was recorded at the Price Chopper right next to the store where I work at. And this guy, so the decoy for this group met this guy on Adam for Adam, and the guy drove over an hour from the Colony area of Colony, New York, all the way over to my town, Bennington, Vermont. Now, I wasn't working that day. I don't even think I was in the area when this happened. But I'm watching this video, and first off, kudos to the Predators Investigation Group, PIG. They handled it really professionally. They didn't try to, they weren't scripted. They didn't try to go for a lot of jokes. They didn't, as much as possible, they gave the guy as much respect and dignity as you could expect to give somebody in that position. They behaved professionally. You know how Chris Hansen acted in the beginning of those historic investigations, the To Catch a Predator investigations. You know how he was definitely firm with those people, but he was never. I guess he was never rude and disrespectful. A lot of the Predator channels on YouTube, they do tend to go for the. I swear to God, some of them are just failed comedians who are just using this opportunity to unload every joke that ever got them. Like, they write down these they write down these stingers, and I swear they want to be remembered more for their quick wit than for actually trying to get predators off the street, which should be their aim. And the Predator Investigation Group so far, my first impression was that they are very professional, and then they are focused on the work, which is to expose predators and hopefully get them off the streets, as opposed to trying to be dime store comedians on the spot, if that makes sense. But, another thing this proves is that, one, no matter how many of these To Catch a Predator style channels there are on YouTube, predators are not getting any smarter, and they're not going away. I feel like we get a new crop of them every decade. I mean, Chris Hansen has gone back to his roots. Like, he actually tried to get away from the TCAP thing. He was trying to go after online scammers at one point, and then he was going after anybody he could harass on camera. And I think at one point he even had to go to court over one of these incidents. But he obviously went back to the thing that made him famous, which was going after online predators. And every single time, it's a new batch of people who I swear were in kindergarten when the first round of TCAP started. And it's always the same thing. Like, this guy is in his 70s, right? This guy was my age when TCAP started. But he fell for this sting, thank God. I'm hoping that was the first time. Well, you never know with these guys. I'm certainly hoping that this guy just happened to have a bad lapse of judgment. But I think we all know that 9 times out of 10, this is probably just the first time he's been caught. It disturbs me that he has a grandchild that he has probably been allowed to be alone with. And that's to say nothing of any nephews or nieces he might have, because they did make him call his brother to let him know that he had gotten caught doing this. So it's like, predators are not getting any smarter. They're not getting wiser. They're still out there, and I don't know. And I'm not surprised that it happened in my hometown. I'm just surprised it didn't happen sooner. I'm actually genuinely surprised that is the first time I've heard the name Bennington, Vermont in connection with a child, predator sting. I used to not entirely jokingly say that if they hosted one episode of To Catch a Predator in my town, then we would have to hire substitute teachers the next day. And the substitutes would probably be on that list as well. Because our school was never exactly picky when it came to hiring people. And almost everybody that went to my school has a story about one teacher or the other. And sadly, my sister, who was class of 2023, my sister, who was class of 2022, has other stories as well. So clearly, nothing has changed in terms of their pickiness. Got a bit of blood there. Hopefully that doesn't get the channel flagged. It's just from shaving. I mean, if the subject matter doesn't get this video flagged, I'm sure a tiny little nick on my chin won't do anything. So what else? What else is going on? So my husband and I, we're going to be moving into a new trailer. I can't tell you exactly when because I genuinely don't know. There's a lot of work to be done. There's papers to be signed. And there's a lot to happen between now and then, so I don't want to commit to anything just yet, but it is a good thing. We're going to own our own home. And y'all can make fun of me for moving into a trailer all you like, but we're buying it straight from a family member that wants to sell it to us. And we're buying it for what in this housing market is basically pocket change. And so we have been very fortunate to come across this, and we're doing a lot of yard work with it. My husband is very much a do-it-yourselfer. His whole family is do-it-yourselfers, so we're going to be doing a lot of this stuff by hand, like ourselves, the improvements and everything. And that's all a good thing. So anyway, yeah, I think as far as YouTube goes, I think this is a pretty good start to working my way back into my channel and building up my following. I'm going to still do sketches and things like that. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't really go onto YouTube. You don't really start content creation to get rich. You do it because you just want to share something of yourself with people and hopefully you find your audience. I'm not doing it for the money. It would be great if money fell in my lap as a result of this, but I'm not going to complain and I'm not going to slow down. Right now, content creation is really more of something to take my mind off of all the stuff I have to do. It's a hobby. It's a hobby like anything else. And like any good hobby, you probably lose more money on it than you make. So if money is your goal, don't get into content creation. That's just the simple rule. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this first installment, and this is just going to be the first installment of a series called Shave with Me. Or I haven't worked out the title. I haven't worked out the title. I'll probably just call it Get Ready with Me, like just to attract the TikTok crowd. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get a notification. Consider sharing this with a friend. Leave a comment down below. I'll try to be more coherent, I swear. I don't really script this. I kind of wing it. So I apologize if I went off on a tangent. I'm sorry if I lost any of you as a result of rambling. But anyway, have a great day, be safe, and treat each other with dignity and respect.